Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. It's time for a build in Granite Falls. I decided to build a cabin, and this build is all about the pond and the swimming pool because I decided to build a swimming pond, and I started off by manipulating the terrain. So I used the terrain tools to lay out the shape of the pond. At this point I was going for a river, but then eventually it just ended up being more of a pond. It definitely does not look like a river, so it just kind of happened while I was building, and I wanted to incorporate a round shape, but there aren't any fun tricks involved or anything. I literally just used a round foundation piece. I used the biggest one available. I'm always using the one with a fence attached to it. I made it smaller on both sides and then used the sledgehammer tool to remove the fence, and that's it. I combined 3 of them and I created this round shape. My idea was to have a nice deck, so you have some type of sun deck where you can just lounge and hang out. You have a nice view of the pond. So this is what I was going for. I then just started to work on the build itself, which has a relatively simple shape. I was going for a modern vibe. I still wanted this to look like some type of cabin, so it like fits into Granite Falls. And at first I had no idea where to place the pool really. And you can here already see the position of the pool and the pond, or where the pond is going to be. And I'm going to connect both of them exactly in the spot. And I've used lots of debug rocks. These rocks are from Equalize style. They can be found in debug, and they just have the perfect look for a build like this, in my opinion. They just look so different from other debug rocks. They look very natural. The texture looks amazing. It almost looks like Alpha CC or something. Like, it looks really, really cool. And I just wanted to place all these rocks before I was adding the water. This way I could just strategically place them, and later on I'm just going to use the pond tool to fill this area with water, and I'm just going to decorate it. But at this point I was working on the round section at first, and I then decided, as you will see, that I would like to have a fireplace, and I had some trouble connecting this, as you just saw, because this is a round shape. You can't just add a room to a round shape, so I had to create this super slim room, which is literally only 2 tiles wide, just as the chimney for the fireplace. And I decided to just embrace it, and I'm going to add 2 doorways in there. So this is like the entrance area, so I just used it as a really slim hallway, which made sense, and I just embraced it because I didn't want to change the round shape. I didn't want to make it wider because then it's not circular anymore, so I just left it this way. You can here see the doorways. These are from the industrial kit, and I just love them. Like, this doorway is so cool. And then started to add roofs to this house, and I was going for more of a dark color, so I wasn't sure which roof swatch to use first. The windows are from Snowy Escape mostly. I used a black swatch, and I knew that I would like to have a really dark roof swatch as well, and you will see that I'm going to use black but also another color. And here I finally added the water to the pond, and it's finally a pond. I added more rocks. I also changed the position. As I said earlier, at first I placed them strategically, but then I noticed that I really had to rearrange them, because as soon as I had added the water, it wasn't looking right, and I then placed more debug rocks, and you can here see that I'm kind of hiding the gap between the pool and the pond. And by adding the same water color and by adding some plants and stuff, I made it look really natural, and it looks as if the water from the pond is kind of flowing into the pool, and it looks like one pond, kind of like a swimming pond. I have to change the color still, because here it still doesn't look right, but this was kind of the main idea behind this build. And this is a 50 by 50 lot, by the way, and you could place this in Granite Falls, which is the world of outdoor living, but you could also place this on any other 50 by 50 lot. It's a rental lot, but it can also be used as a residential lot. But when you're building Granite Falls, it's a rental lot by default, but you can just just place it anywhere, and it's a residential lot, but you could also just use it to send your Sims on a nice vacation. This house has 3 bedrooms, 1 master bedroom and 2 kids' rooms, and there are 2 bathrooms in total. 1 bathroom is on the top floor and 1 is on the level below, so there are bathrooms everywhere, so the Sims don't have to walk a long distance. And here I wanted to have some type of balcony. I mean, balcony is probably the wrong word because I just used a stilt foundation, but I wanted to have this deck area above the water where the Sims could just sit and hang out. And then at some point later on, I noticed that the Sims have to enter the house somehow. And my initial plan was to either add some type of bridge over the pool area somewhere or on the left side, but then I started to landscape more and there wasn't any space left, and I realized, okay, the Sims have to enter this house. So I decided to use the area on the right side, the little patio, to just turn it into a bridge, and the Sims can just cross the bridge and enter the house. And here I'm working on the window, on the facade. I've used some No-CC gallery art. As always, you can find the ID in the description box and in the gallery, like in the gallery upload. I'm going to add the name of the creator as a hashtag there. And I just added these and rotated them using Tool to create this look. Later on, I decided to place them on the level above. And this way, when you are on this level, like where I placed them right now, they won't be in the way because they are like on the level above. So I changed this. So this way, this is not like bothering you when you are playing in this house, which is really important. It's so annoying when something like is blocking your view while you are playing when you are in live mode. So I changed this. Here I'm landscaping more, so I erased the terrain. I wanted to have some type of height difference, just a bit of fun using the terrain tools. And this is, as I said, when I realized that I have to find a way to incorporate an entrance area, and I built this bridge. I simply used the stilt foundations for this. Usually I really like to use the trick where you build a room at the bottom and then you add a floor piece on top, and when you delete the room you have your floating floor piece and it's a bridge. I always explain this, but this is how I build bridges and how I do all kinds of different things, and usually this is how I like to build a bridge like this. But then I figured it would be much easier in this case to just use a stilt foundation, especially over water, because I was going for this look. I rarely use stilt foundations, but in this case it was like the obvious and very simple choice, and I don't know why I'm never really using them. So I was really happy when I like realized, okay, they're stilt foundations and they're amazing. And I remember how groundbreaking it was when they were added to the base game. Also, speaking of the base game, today The Sims announced that there is new content coming. There will be a base game update, there will be an expansion pack, and also a build kit. And I think all of this happens next month in July, and I have no idea what's coming. No one knows. I mean, there is like some speculation, a rumor, a leak, whatever, regarding the expansion pack. Supposedly it's going to be a high school pack. I've talked about this in my last video, so this is probably it, but we have no idea what the build kit is going to be, and also no idea what the base game update will be about. But I'm really excited for the build kit as well. I know that not everyone enjoys the build kits or kits in general, and some prefer stuff packs, or they like, not everyone is a fan of kits, but I think that it's really cool to just add a certain style and idea to the game. Like Courtyard Oasis was it's just so amazing. Like, I prefer Courtyard Oasis over some or most stuff packs because they really nailed this. Everything is matching. You have like a railing, a fence, a column, everything is matching. And even though just a kit, people created whole mansions, gigantic builds using only one kit. Of course, mostly in combination with some other packs, but it's just such a small kit and it offers so much. So I'm having hope. Like, when I read build kit, I'm thinking of Courtyard Oasis, and I'm just ready to create a mansion. I don't know what's coming. We will see. Let me know in the comments down below if you are excited about what's coming, the expansion pack, the base game update. Do you have any idea what the base game update could be about? Any speculation? And are you excited for a build kit or not? And let me know what you think. Personally, I'm kind of curious when we will get another stuff pack, because it's been a long while since we got a stuff pack. Nowadays, it all seems to be more about kits, cast, and building, but I don't know. We will see what's going to happen. Yeah, here I'm furnishing. So I created this beautiful living room. I wanted this to be very open. I wanted there to be a fireplace. After all, it's a cabin, it's Granite Falls. You just need a fireplace or multiple fireplaces in a build like this, in my opinion. And this is kind of the back side of the chimney. So on the other side behind this area is the fireplace that you just saw, including the living room area. And I just turned this into a small office area. I also placed a chess table. It's very open. It's not too cramped in, but also not too spacious. So I think that this is cool. And I then added a room because, of course, we need a bathroom down there. And I'm really good at forgetting bathrooms or stairs or maybe a fridge or a bin. But I think this time I thought of everything. Sometimes you just forget to add something to a build. And I wanted this to be very modern, like the whole vibe of the build, both on the exterior and interior, was all about being modern but also a bit rustic, so it still has some vibes of a cabin. I wanted to incorporate wood and all that, but I also want this to be very modern and very cool and beautiful. This is the dining room area. I just combined two tables. Again, I was going for wood. And the ceiling light is so beautiful. I don't even know to which pack it belongs right now, but it's just perfect in my opinion. And I used this little area, like this nook, just for having another area where you could just sit. And I don't know, like mansions, also in real life, they have so many different areas to just sit and hang out. Also on the outside, like when you see these really, really over the top, super expensive mega mansions, like on Architectural Digest or something, there are like so many areas. And I mean, I really like to go overboard. I add so many tables, so many sofas, and then there's another area, and then you have like a area where you can just sunbathe, but then there is another one, and I sometimes think, okay, I'm going overboard here, even though it like looks right because it's a gigantic mansion, like not this one here, but like big mansions I've built in the past. But then I just watched something on the Architectural Digest channel, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's okay. This is how it's supposed to be, and it's like so over the top. It would be so overwhelming for me. Like I feel like if I would live in a house like this in one of these mega mansions, I would just chill in my bedroom. I would just choose one living room and this would be it. Like I don't know if I would like move between like the 4 living rooms that I have. I think I would just get comfortable in one. And I love mansions. I really do. I think it's so beautiful. Like they have always fascinated me. I think this is why I'm building them. Like in a weird way, there's like some type of fascination and they look so beautiful most of the time. Like there are many amazing builds out there in the real world, but also if it's like too big, if it's like a really gigantic mansion, I think it would feel weird and scary at night, like when you are alone. Even if you have security and all that, when you are like a superstar, these people have security and all that, but I don't know, it just feels weird, like a bit creepy. Just imagine you're in like one of these huge movie theaters that these mansions have, and it's like dark, and these already creep me out in general because they are like so big. Just imagine being alone in them, and then it's like a horror movie and you're in this big house. I don't know. And this is it. This video is slowly coming to an end. You can here see lots of screenshots. You can grab this build from the gallery. It's CC free and unmodded. You can also grab the tray files from my Patreon. And speaking of which, it's time to thank my wonderful Emerald Patreons. A big thank you to Charlotte, Asia, Emma Barnes, Lisa Martin, Mikuji DJ, Saturated Spark, Shannon McClam, Telena Lynn, Stephen, and Tina Turner. Thank you so much for your gigantic support. A big thank you to all my other Patreons, and thank you to anyone who watches my videos. I love you all so, so much. I hope you are doing very well. I hope you might enjoy this build, and yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye. Oh.